Hey guys, Jackie from Jack Gets Lost in a Book Hole, and I thought I would film a tag today. And the tag I'm going to do is the Netflix book tag. It looks like a fun one, so I'm gonna go do it. Okay, so the first question is, recently watched the last book you finished reading, and that is Gathering Darkness by Margaret Rhodes. This is the third book in the Fallen Kingdom series, which I really love this series. I'm having such a fun time reading it. I'm getting all the feels, and it's awesome. And a lot of stuff happens in this third book. Okay, so the next question is top picks of books that have been recommended to you based on the book you previously read. And crap, I was gonna check on Goodreads, but I totally forgot when I turned on my computer. So I don't really have an answer for this one. First of all, I usually ignore the Goodreads recommendations because I've already read them. And I don't like getting recommendations, or I don't like people directly recommending books to me. Like I kind of linked up with Epic Reads on Messenger, and they recommend books to me, and not to criticize them, of course, but some of the recommendations I don't understand, I don't get. It's like one of these instant things where, you keep clicking and things keep popping up and saying, because you read this, you'll like this. I mean, sometimes I don't get the recommendations that these sites make. And I don't like being recommended books by my my peers either, like at least not directly. Like if I'm watching a booktube video and people are talking about a book, then I'll check it out. But if someone's directly recommending something to me, I'm not, I mean, maybe I'll give it a chance, but it's a very slim, it's kind of a slim chance. Because I am a little bit picky. Not as picky as some people, but I can be a bit picky, even in my favorite genres. So, I don't have an answer for this, because I totally forgot to look on Goodreads. And lately I haven't been really recommended anything directly, and I don't remember what videos I watched, but anyway, so I don't have one for top picks question number 2. So, question number 3, recently added, the last book you bought. I actually bought 2 books, and that is Conjuring of Light, the third book in the Shades of Magic trilogy, and I'm currently reading the second book. And I'm the type of person, if I'm reading a series or a trilogy or a duology, I like to get the next book right away before I read the book right before it. I don't like to, because I don't know how long it will be before I can get it. And, I can't just drive to Books A Million because I can't drive. And the bookstore that's walkable for me does not have books like this. It's a used independent bookstore. And, I mean, maybe it will on occasion it has books like this, but most of the time it doesn't have books like this. So I have to settle for Books A Million or ordering online. And ordering online, I kind of have to go through my mom to help me with that. So and then I got this one, a memoir of my early years by, yes, the Julie Andrews, as you can tell from the cover, the same woman who plays Harry Potter, and Maria from who plays Mary Poppins from the original movie, and Maria from Sound of Music. And she also plays Queen Clarice Rinaldi in Princess Diaries, the movies. So yes, I have been wanting to. Sound of Music is one of my favorite movies ever, and I will watch it on repeat. Like, I will go through periods where I will literally watch it on repeat. And I decided, you know what, if I ever get a chance to meet her and Christopher Plummer, I would love to be able to say that I've seen some of their other work. I'm familiar with their other work, and I know a little bit more about them than just, you know, Sound of Music and Mary Poppins and then Princess Diaries. Because I'm the type of person that if I'm gonna meet an actor, I don't want to. I feel bad if I only know them from one thing or a couple things, which actually I'm going to be having that problem this year when I go to SuperCon, because I'm meeting Michael Dorn. And although I think I know him from something else, but I'll have to look him up on IMDb and see what he's done that I might have known other than Next Generation. But anyway, so I decided to get this, and I finally spotted it at a bookstore. Like, I was not seeing it at the bookstore, and then one day I went to the biography section, which is kind of a small little section. It's just one bookcase full of books, and this was the only one there, so I was like, I have to buy this. I'm going to have to wait and have my mom help me order it online, or I'm going to have to buy it now. Unfortunately, it was a bit expensive. It was like $16, and that does not include tax. Let's see. So I got this one along with Conjuring of Light. And like I said, I'm reading the second one right now, and I'm probably going to bring it with me because we're going on a little brief vacation tomorrow, so I'll probably bring a Gathering of Shadows with me when I go. I am thinking about bringing this one as well. But I'm the type of person who, it takes me a while to decide what books I want to bring, because I don't want to bring too many, because there's no way I'll get to all of them. But anyway, so that's my recently added. Okay, so next, popular on Netflix. Books that everyone knows about, 2 you've read and 2 you haven't. And so the 2 that I've read, one of them I don't have and I got it from the library, and that is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. I don't read contemporary that often, but it kind of, because of some of the representation in that book, I thought it would be a cute little book to read, and I got it from the library. I didn't buy it. And it was okay. It was fun. It was cute. I didn't hate it. It wasn't just something that I wanted to actually keep and have in my own collection. I'm not, like I said, I don't read contemporary. The closest to contemporary I'll get is, like, maybe literary fiction, adult fiction that's set in modern times. I mean, like, some adult fiction I might, like, Big Little Lies I want to read. But it might also have something to do with I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm not a teenager, even though I look like a teenager, and sometimes I act like a teenager, and I feel like a teenager a lot of times, but, I mean, I literally am not, so I just don't get into YA contemporary. I can get more into YA fantasy still, but not YA contemporary. But I did like it, and it was cute, that particular one, but it wasn't my favorite. And then the other one that I've read that I actually do have is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This was so awesome, and I'm actually using this book to answer for another question on this tag. I will get to that in a little bit. So those are the 2 that I've read. Obviously, I love this one enough to buy it, which, I mean, I already bought it before I read it, actually, but I knew that I would probably like it either way. And I could always donate it if I didn't love it. I could just donate it. But I loved it, so I still have it. Okay, and the 2 that I haven't read, that I do not have on my shelf, that are popular on Netflix, are Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Again, I thought about reading that one because of, like, there's a lot of aspects in it that I can kind of relate to, like, the protagonist of the story. I can kind of relate I can relate a lot to her. And I used to write fan fiction too. So I thought about that. But again, I'm not a huge fan of contemporary. And also it's in a college setting, so I've been through that whole college experience. Problem is, I haven't been through the whole college, like living on campus experience, because I went to community college. But I still been through the college experience. Unfortunately, I have not experienced the whole boyfriend thing like Kath does in the book. I mean, actually, yeah, I did. You know, I dated. There was one guy I dated in college, and it's funny because he was younger than me. At the time I was in my mid-20s, and he was 19, so he was legally of age. I wasn't like robbing the cradle or anything, but still, I was much older than him. So, but he was cool, and he was definitely a nice guy. But it's just I wasn't feeling it at the time. So that's the only guy I've ever really dated. But yeah, so I can relate to Kath, the main girl in that book, but I never got around to it because, like I said, I'm not a contemporary reader, so it's not my first instinct to buy a contemporary book. I mean, I would almost rather just borrow it from the library to see if I could like it, if I'll enjoy it, and if I really do fall in love with it, or just really, really like it, then maybe I'll buy it. But they don't have that one. They have the only one of Ray Morales books that they actually have that I've seen there is Carry On, which is the spin-off book. It's just like, seriously, are you kidding me? You don't have Fangirl, but you have the spin-off book, which I'm sure is great, and it's more fantastical than Fangirl, but still, I want to read Fangirl first. Okay, anyway, enough rambling. So the next one I have here, which I've also seen at the library, I just haven't gotten around to borrowing it, is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I heard that is a great book, a beautiful story, and it's heartbreaking, and I don't know if I will buy it, or if I'll borrow it, or if I'll just get it from the library, if I'll just, watch the movie, I don't know. But it was, but, no, that's another one, a popular one that I have not read. Okay, so next is comedies, a funny book, and the only funny book, although fantasy can be funny too, it has a lot of funny moments. Well, actually, this is the fantasy, my answer for this question, but all my other books just didn't, I couldn't, they have funniness in them, but they're not, they don't have as much comedy as this particular book does. Of course, I might also be thinking about the movie, and it's been a long time since I read the book, but I said The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien. This is the prequel book to the original trilogy. And as you know, Peter Jackson did make movies based on the trilogy. Based on this book, and it got turned into a trilogy. Which I know a lot of hardcore fans were not pleased with that, and I believe Tolkien's remaining family member that is alive that owns the rights to the Lord of the Rings books, I don't think he was happy with the movie either. But, with the Hobbit movies. And I respect that, but I personally love the Hobbit movies. I think they were great, and there was a lot of stuff that you don't get in this book, but is in the appendices that was included in the movie. So I think that was awesome that they included all that. And plus, it's a wider audience. They have to appeal to a wider audience. So that's the thing about the movie business. You can't just settle for, eventually, in either way, you're going to change the content anyway when you translate a book into a movie. Whether you're going to take out and condense it or add on to it. But I can understand why this person, the one who owns the right, was not happy with the movies. But I was happy, and that's what matters. Well, not specifically me, but the audience was happy. And generally, I think a lot of the audience was happy. Sorry, I still have my TV on right now. You might be able to hear it. It's Supernatural. But anyway, yes, I think this book is really funny. has, especially with the dwarves and everything, and them giving Bilbo a hard time. And like I said, I could technically be thinking about the movie. And there's a lot of cute little songs that the dwarves sing. And I remember it being, like, really funny. So, that's the one I chose for comedy. Okay, so next is drama. Dramas. A character who is a drama king or queen. And the one I chose for this is Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. I feel like she is such a drama queen. The whole world revolves around her. I feel like she's a very selfish person. I still love the character because she's just so fascinating to read about. But I feel like she is a selfish little brat. And she's she's so, it's the end of the world, end all or be all for her. Of course, this was also written in the 1800s. But to me, it just feels like very much, she just feels like she's such a drama queen. And, it's, so, yeah. So I picked for drama queen, Scarlett O'Hara. Okay, so next, animated. Well, this is a book I just bought, actually. Oh, well, actually, that would have been that actually technically would be the book that would answer the question, top picks. Actually, that should have been, wait, oh, no, recently added. This should have been the answer to, number 3, because I bought that after I bought Home and Conjuring of Light, but that's okay. I mean, you guys only knew that after I told you that. So this is animated. A book with cartoons on the cover, and I said Nevermore. This is middle grade, and I feel like you can usually tell if it's middle grade. Whether by the cover, like I feel like middle grade covers are a lot of times more colorful than YA covers. And then you can tell by the description of the plot. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this, and I think I'm gonna also bring this one with me to when I go on my little vacation. But look at this cover. I love this cover, and I've been wanting to read. Like I said, I've been wanting to read it, so I think I might bring it with me. But this is such a beautiful, with all the bright colors and the cool umbrellas. And actually, it's funny, my friend thought this was because of the umbrellas. She thought this had to do with Mary Poppins, like a sequel. Which is, and then I had another friend who, because of it, if you've heard about that Beauty and the Beast story, the Lost in a Book, which kind of takes place within the story, the original story, the Disney story. The book that Belle gets lost in is called Nevermore. It's spelled differently, but yeah, it's the same title. So my other friend assumed that this was the same book. And at the time, I was already kind of tired and cranky, so I was kind of a little annoyed about that at the time. Now I just laugh about it, so. Oh wait, but isn't this a beautiful cover? Let's see, look, it's very animated. And like I said, I feel like middle grade tends to be really brightly colored books. I could be wrong. I mean, like, A Series of Unfortunate Events, I wouldn't say is brightly colored. But then again, I feel like it's a little bit more colorful. And it's another book that is animated. That's another thing. Like, I feel like middle grade a lot of times uses animated images on their books more so than YA. Not that YA doesn't, because the other cover I was thinking about using for this question was one of the Shades of Magic books, which that is kind of animated too. But anyway, next question. Watch it again. A book series that you want to read again. And like I said, I already used this book once, so I'm using it again. I want to reread The Name of the Wind. I read it I can't remember when I guess when we first got here. Um, and I want to reread it again because I remember I really enjoyed it and I don't remember a lot about what happened. So, I mean, I have trouble remembering things in books that are this size. I can't recall details. It drives me crazy when other people do. It's like, how do you do that? How do you remember that kind of stuff? So, I want to reread this one. Okay, so next question is documentaries, a nonfiction book you recommend to everyone. And I don't have this one. I almost didn't answer this, but I decided to go ahead and answer it. I said Brain on Fire. My Month of Madness by Susanna Callahan. I don't think that's how you actually say her last name, but that is also a memoir, just like Home, about the author and how she was going about her normal life, and then all of a sudden something happened to her, and she blacked out and ended up in the hospital, and she didn't remember how she got there, what happened, and after talking to her friends and doctors and family members, she found out the details of how she ended up there. She kind of started like having emotional breakdowns and having seizures and all this horrible stuff was happening to her. And she just went okay, I'm just gonna say it, a little crazy. She went a little mad, and no one knows why. And it didn't last long, but it did happen. And this is her memoir documenting what happened from the information she gathered from doctors, friends, and family. It's kind of a heartbreaking story, but it's written in a, like I said, and maybe this is just memoirs, period. And I guess I'm gonna find out when I read Home that the way it was written like a narrative, like a novel. So it was very easy to get through, and the chapters were short. I mean, there was some medical jargon that was kind of hard to follow. That I couldn't, made it dragged it out a little bit. But, yeah, and I mean, it's one of these things, unless you are a medical person and you know about that kind of stuff, then you're not gonna, it might be a little harder to get through. Okay, so that was my documentary answer. Okay, so the next one I have here is Action and Adventure, an action-packed book. Oh, not, where is it? Where did I put it? Did I get it down? Damn it! Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that, you guys. I didn't put it in reachable. I have to get up and get it. 1 second, Wolfie. Oh, I gotta go. Well, it's only 11:17, so I got 10 minutes. Okay, an action adventure, an action-packed book. I picked Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in a duology. I still have not read Crooked Kingdom. That's another book I might need to bring with me. This is basically a group of criminals, or some people that are involved in crime. I mean, some of them are not exactly technically criminals. There are more some that are on the opposite side. But yeah, and they all get involved they all are asked to go on this heist to retrieve this guy from a heavily guarded prison who has made a drug that is given to the Grisha, who are the magic users of this world, to enhance their magic. But when they crash to the point of they die. And this group of people, led by Kaz Brekker, has to get this guy before someone else gets their hands on him and do something about this drug. Oh, this is a heist, so it's a lot of action. I mean, there is a lot of planning. I mean, half the book is where they're all planning this. and working together and trying to get along, and there's a lot of flashbacks, but I still feel like there's a lot of action too in the book, from what I remember. And I read it like back in either 2016 or early 2017. Well, not early, because it was in the fall I read it, so I guess back in 2017. Yeah, it's a heist book, so of course it's like Ocean's 11 essentially. So yeah, this is the book I picked. There's probably a lot more action in the original Grisha trilogy, but I don't need that because I wasn't as in love with it as some people. I did enjoy it; it was really cool, but I just wasn't. Oh my god, this is the best year! This is the best trilogy ever, you know. But I still liked it. Don't get me wrong, I did like it, but I kind of like this better. And I still kind of like Cookie Kingdom because this one ended on a cliffhanger. My problem is I didn't want to read the next book right away, even though I had it, which I know is ironic because, you know, I mentioned in the video that I don't want to, you know, I want to get the next book. Before I read the next book, I want to get the book after the next one in like a series or a trilogy. Or in this case, a duology, but yeah, I didn't want to read it right away, even though I had it. Okay, so next question, new releases, a book that just came out, or will be coming out soon, that you can't wait to read. And I said, and of course, this one has not come out, so I naturally don't have it with me, but I said, A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the novella in the last book about, the stars of the first 3 books in A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I'm excited about that because I love that couple, and I can't wait. I know a lot of people that aren't hardcore fans of the series probably are tired of stories about those two, and are looking forward to stories about the other characters, which she will write. Don't give up on the series. Don't stop reading just because the next book is not about the other characters. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Just get through this book. And then, I mean, a lot of people now love Tower of Dawn. And people aren't, at the time, when it first came out, people were not fans of Chaol. And that book was about Chaol. And I think some of those people who are not happy with Chaol are in love with him again. I mean, I haven't read the book, but this is what I've heard in reviews. So, I say don't give up. Damn it. My dog, Sophie's asking to go out, and I don't want them to go out while I'm next door, because then they'll distract that little puppy. Okay, so, that's, the last one is Max taxing people. I don't do that, but if you are interested in doing this tag, go for it. It is a fun tag, but I know it's also an old tag, so a lot of people might have already done it. I guess if I tag some people, well, okay, no, because I don't even know if those people will watch it. But if any of the people who are subscribed to my channel, like Leah26 and 26, I think that's her name. I feel bad that I don't know her name, but I know, Leah and 26, I think that's what her name is. I'm so sorry if I got your name wrong, if you happen to watch the video. Well, anyway, you know, if you're interested, or if anyone else who's subscribed to my channel watches this and is interesting, go for it and do this tag. It's a fun tag, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, and you happen to be passing through and watching this video, please subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Alright, bye!